Hi creative friends, this is Soraya and thank you so much for being here. So today I'm going to make some more juicy collage, but I'm doing it just a little bit differently. Now there's probably 101 ways for you to make your own collage, and I'm learning as I go along as well. Now what I did here is I just added some dictionary pages and some tea bags and my own handwriting onto the page. And on this page, I did the same thing, but I added some receipts that I had. Receipts are really cool because they've got numbers, they've got, just like different kind of marks, and it's just another way that you can add some interest and variation to your collage. Now, the great thing about handwriting is that handwriting are just lines and marks, but they're yours. So they kind of have your own visual language already in it because only you can write the way you do. And it's like a fingerprint. That's the way I look at it. And one of the ways we can incorporate handwriting into our art is by putting it in our collage. Now, the great thing about this is if I had to just say, crumple this piece of paper, and it's a cheap line composition notebook, so it's easy for me to crumple it up. And look at the great texture that I'm getting. And I don't even have to put any paint on it. I can simply just rip it up and use it as collage. And it may not look like anything right here, but once I put it into an art journal spread, it might just be the perfect thing I need. So you don't have to do anything to it, but I like to add paints and inks and Stabilos and all sorts of good stuff. So what I'm going to do is I have some paints on the palette here, and I'm just going to kind of make some juicy marks here. Ooh, look at that. Like already it's picking up on the creases. I'm just gonna bring it up closer here. Like, look at that. It's picking up on the texture, the creases, everything. Ooh, so yummy. Oh my goodness. And what I am going to do is add my ink on here, my burnt sienna ink. And what that's gonna do is it's going to age the page. And do you see how the marks over here, like I'm just, these marks just kind of came organically just because it came off the page over here, the edges, but look at how beautiful they look on this page. And I think that's one of the great things about this is that there's no wrong way to do this. Like there really honestly is not. There's not a right way and a wrong way. It's just like, it's not going to, you're not going to make ugly collage. Like, trust me on this. And even if I had to make ugly collage, ugliness has so much interest and beauty. I prefer, honestly, I prefer ugly over like a very stilted, kind of a generic, what we would call beautiful. Like that's, I don't know, maybe that's a personal thing, but that's just me. I love ugly. Ugly is so interesting. And I think it just depends on how we frame things. But when we reframe it from ugly to unique, interesting, one of a kind, like, that changes everything. But honestly, you guys, there's really no wrong way to do this. Like, I'm just acting like a kid finger painting, honestly. And it's so much fun. Like, look at this. I'm just like smushing things and, and I haven't even broken open my Stabilos yet. And now I can just kind of like, I'm gonna put that off to the side there. I'm just gonna put that off here and I'm gonna work on this. So I want my ink here. So the great thing about this burnt sienna ink, and I'm sure there are a few other earthy colors that you can use, but it ages the page. So it gives you a look like as if it's really old. And I absolutely love that. And now what I'm going to do is use some of my chalk paint here. And I'm just gonna dive right back into my finger painting because honestly, I just love the effects that I'm getting. And now what I'm gonna do is get out my Stabilo and just make some delicious juicy marks. So the great thing about making your own collage, and I've said this before, but I think it bears repeating, is that when you make your own collage and then you use it in your art, it's already going to fit in. Like, you don't have to, it's not like going and buying, you know, collage, like store-bought collage or handmade collage or whatever. And trust me, I have a lot of handmade papers that I have bought, and I do use them for collage, and there's nothing wrong with doing that. However, when you use your own handmade collage, it is going to seamlessly fit in because it already has your visual language. And it's just kind of like, sure, it might have a different color palette or whatever, but it already has your signature, if you will. And that's like a super, that's an advantage that you have when you use your own collage. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna kind of make some juicy marks here. And like I said, you guys, just have fun. Like, just let go and play because there is no right or wrong. There just isn't. And you can layer this as much as you want. Like, there is no limit to what you can do. Like, when this dries, I can go in and add more tea bags. I can go in and add, you know, more dictionary pages, receipts. I mean, I can, like, you can layer it as much as you want. And now I'm gonna go for some gold because I'm just kind of feeling like I want to add some gold to the mix here. And this particular gold is actually a textile paint, and it's so luscious and delicious. It's unfortunately, it is a European brand. I bought it in Italy, and I don't know that you can find it here. It is Primo, and it's textile. And just look at that, you guys. It's just so interesting and beautiful. And like, I'm just kind of playing here and just having fun. And if you use chalk paint, once the chalk paint dries, you can go in and you can add text on it, and it's a really great ground for having things like just really pop. So that's another thing you can do. And you can just layer and layer and layer. Like, there's really no limit to what you can do. And now I can go in when it dries and I can even add more collage, like handmade papers if I wanted. I can, you know, just like think outside the box. And I want some of that over there. And I'm gonna lay that off to the side here. And I'm just gonna crumble it up and let's see. Oh my goodness, like look at that. Oh my goodness. Now it may not look like anything great here, but you guys, I guarantee you that if I had to put this on a, I'm just gonna show you here. This is a very, just like, I don't even know if that pencil has a good point on it. I'm just gonna grab another pencil here. So I'm just gonna kind of make a quick sketch here. And I just want to illustrate a point. So this is just a cheap line composition notebook, and I'm just making a very basic kind of a sketch. It's nothing great. It's just like, wow, kind of, you know. And wow, you guys, I think I need to like spend a half an hour and sharpen all my pencils because this pencil needs to be sharpened as well. Okay, so as you can see, this is just a basic kind of a, you know, a figure. But look now when I add this piece of collage that I just made. I'm gonna rip this out as well. But look at that. Like, look at the interest that it adds to the page. And the reason why is because this is just a generic piece of paper. But this is handmade. It's crumpled. It's got texture. It's got color. It's got life. And when you put this down here, it just adds so much to your art. So I cannot stress enough, you guys, how you can be creative and think outside the box. Like you can use sheet music, you can use pages from a book. Yeah, I mean, you can use junk mail. I think I did a video where I showed you how to use junk mail to make collage, but you can even layer the junk mail on top of the composition notebook. So you can just get tons of different things and just experiment and see what you can use. You know, and like I said, I can go back in here, I can add more writing, I can add all sorts of things, my Posca markers, just regular markers. But, you know, just experiment and have fun. That's, you know, just play. So anyways, you guys, I hope that you enjoyed this video and I hope it has inspired you to try making your collage with just random stuff you have around, laying around the house. Anyways, I will see you in my next video. Bye.